Okay, it's possible to go through menopause without ever having to experience a hot flash. Fitness expert Shanna Ross says none of her clients are feeling the heat, so to speak. Good morning to you. Maybe except you told me it was pretty painful for you, even though you did everything right. So sometimes luck, isn't it, I guess, as well?
It is. It's kind of the luck of the draw as to how many symptoms you're going to have and how severe they are.
Now, you suggest a whole list of things, and we're going to walk through those. So what do you think the number one thing is when you say, I'm going to help you get through menopause?
Well, number one is stay active, which is one of the hardest things to do because many times, if it hits you like it hit me, the fatigue can be absolutely crippling. And it's very difficult to think, well, I'm going to go work out now, when all you really want to do is go back to bed. But it is one of the major keys to getting through it because the workouts do help increase the energy.
One thing I think is so interesting that you do is you really concentrate on women who are going through menopause. So you say that it's not just any exercise. You really need to do specialized exercise for an older body.
Well, the older body, you know, once you get to menopause, many times you're already starting to experience joint pain because the estrogen that we lose when we go into menopause is the estrogen that keeps everything lubricated. So joint pain certainly becomes an issue, the fatigue. So you can't really continue to work out like you did when you were young. You have to taper them, be very wise, use a little more intensity, but less time.
We had so much fun watching you and a group of local ladies getting ready to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, and you went through all kinds of training with them. Did you have to be super careful because of anyone being over 40, over 50, and doing something that huge?
Yeah, I mean, Pam, for instance, has rheumatoid arthritis. So talk about joint pain, she had plenty of it. But when you're training for something like that, it gives you a goal. It gives you a reason to maybe push a little harder than you typically would, but you still do have to be careful and watch the intensity.
And you say it's not just about exercise. You do also think that nutrition plays a huge role, and you say we make a whole lot of common mistakes as women. What is the biggest mistake that women make?
Well, like Heights of Health, you know, she was talking about fatty acids being so essential, and it is. And fat is one of the first things women take out of their diets, usually when they go into menopause, because they think, I'm getting fat, so I have to cut the fat. I have to cut the protein because of all the calories. And it is the worst thing a woman can do.
So what do we need to do?
Well, number one, you have to really take control of your nutrition. And the most important thing is to get as many of the starchy, refined, processed carbs out of the diet. They give you no nutritional values at all.
Oh, that includes just about everything in a box or a package, doesn't it?
You got it. The boxes and the packages have to go.
So more fresh fruits, vegetables, lean meats, things like that.
Especially lean meats.
Now, what about our hormonal health? Because sometimes it's hard to tell what type of supplements to add. How do we take control of that when things are starting to change in life?
Well, Heights of Health is a great resource here in Houston, and they are very knowledgeable about those types of holistic things that you can do. Nutrition should be your first step. Start to get that under control. If you're still having those symptoms, visit someone like Heights of Health where they can help you. I did all of that, and it didn't help. It would help for a little while, and then my hormones would find a way to just come roaring back, or at least the lack of them. So I had to do a lot of research about hormone replacement therapy and see if that was an option for me. So those are the three major things. Nutrition, get some holistic health supplements. If those don't work, get educated about hormone replacement therapy.
And you say that it's so important to eat breakfast every single day. What does that have to do with your hormones and just life in general? Is that just keeping your weight maintained?
It has a lot to do with weight. You have to kickstart that metabolism first thing in the morning. And when we get older and head into menopause, our metabolisms automatically start to drop. So why not do the easiest thing you can do, and that's get up each morning and fill yourself full of really great protein.
And a lot of women complain about insomnia or night sweats, so they're not sleeping well, but you say it's very important to get sleep. Well, how do you do that with all that going on?
You know what? If you need to put a fan by the side of your bed, go ahead and do it. It works wonders, but many times if you eliminate a lot of the starchy carbs out of dinner, do mostly protein and vegetables, You're not revving your system up with those starches, and you can sleep a little better at night.
I think a lot of women will be happy to hear that they can do that.
Yeah.
And again, sweat 3 times a week. So we're not saying take a little walk. I mean, it sounds like you need to get the heart pumping and really get some sweat pouring out of those pores.
You do, you do. And a really important piece of that is weight resistance training. You really need to do more than just walk, more than just aerobics. You have to stimulate some muscle because that is the fire for your metabolism.
How did you end up being and deciding that you wanted to help women in this case and that you are actually working out with them every day at your studio? I mean, that's so interesting. I don't know that I've ever heard of a studio that focuses on women at this age.
I went into menopause in my late 30s. Because I was a competitive bodybuilder and really played all kinds of things with my body fat, threw me into menopause early. I was in really good shape, but had horrible, horrible, horrible symptoms. I had to figure a lot of things out, and I knew if I was healthy and having that much trouble, what was going on with the other women. So I had to figure it out and then start sharing it so that they didn't have to be as miserable as I was.
It sounds like you're doing a good job because all the ladies who went on that Mount Killy trip say that you help get them into shape and keep all those things in check. Well,
they're phenomenal.
I'm so glad you came in this morning, Shannon.
Oh,
good to see you again. Thanks for the updates on this, and we hope that we will have a lot of ladies feeling a whole lot better out there after they get this information.
You bet. And they can go to thefrontfixer.com to get more information.
The Front Fixer, you gotta love that, Mike.
I love the fact that she was a competitive bodybuilder. That's really cool.